This meeting is being recorded.
Oh, there we go. It's been a fascinating week for me. I've been through quite a lot of personal, I feel like I've really had to dive deep in this last week. I feel like my body's been letting me down a bit. Um, and also just so on a physical and emotional level, it's just been like, I feel like I've just been dunked in the waves a few times. And, um, and I've realized, a lot of what we're being taught at the moment is about breath and just going back into our breath and giving ourselves time. Now, I'm still working on giving back to myself, and I get beautiful reminders from some beautiful friends that are in this group and other people who are around, like, what are you doing for yourself? What are you doing for yourself? And it's not the easiest thing for me because I'm just such a natural giver that I want to give to everybody else before I give to myself. So I kind of feel like if I was a centipede, I'd be like the back part of the centipede, like the last two little legs at the back, and everybody else is in the forefront. So it's been quite a week of navigation. It's been a week of rawness, realness, and really just having to dig deep. There's been times where I feel like I've gone back to the beginning of my journey, which is where I started 15 years ago, of working on my own self awareness. And I've come to realize once again that the stories we tell ourselves don't serve us. Most certainly doesn't serve me. And so, and I'm having to kind of navigate going back into the mirror. That's where I started my journey, was going into the mirror and looking at myself and saying, okay, Michelle, you've got this. It's okay. This is who you are. This is the person that you are. And it hasn't been easy at times. Sometimes I get so frustrated with myself, and I'll say to my husband that I'm actually the biggest critic in my head in comparison to, I said, if you think that you're judging me, I'm 10 times worse than that voice that's coming out of you right now. So it's been a really fascinating week for me. It's a lot of personal growth that I'm going through at the moment. A lot of it, interesting enough, has been to do with my thyroid. And thyroid stands for feelings of humiliation, feelings of shame. Um, what else was there? There was something else that came, but the humiliation one was like, oh yes, that felt big. And it was so bad. I got to sort of Thursday, Friday last week where I was actually talking really softly when I was talking with clients because I couldn't overexert myself. And then I thought, oh my God, what do I do without my voice? Who am I without talking? How do I do sessions? And I just had to surrender. A big part of my process in the last few months has been surrender and trust, surrender and trust. And I'm like, oh my God, like, how much more do you want me to surrender? How much more do you want me to trust? Like, and when we think we're at that point, we have to go like even deeper, So it really is. I feel like I've gone through some old wounds. My husband's been reflecting them. My kids have been reflecting them to me. And as much as I try and not think or believe that the reflection is there, the reflection shows up, man. It could be a tiny little mirror or it could be a massive mirror of reflection that I'm looking at. And so, yeah, it's been a bit of navigation, a bit of real internal deep diving in terms of what does my body need? Tuning back into my heart. Like as I sit here, if I had to turn my computer around, I'm very blessed. I look into nature and I look into a part of the sea. And I just look and I go, okay, guys, just tell me what does my heart need? Just tell me what do you need? And it's really fine tuning into the listening of what serves me without thinking that I'm selfish. That's what I'm navigating. Has anybody else felt the same? Feels the same? Just raise your hands. Does anybody else ever put themselves sort of like a centipede right behind everybody else? Yeah, so
Yes.
it's been an interesting week of not allowing the deep dark thoughts, because those can creep in like a little misty cloud sometimes, especially when I feel like my emotions and my body. When my body lets me down, I'm like, it doesn't let me down. That's actually the wrong words. It doesn't let me down. It's because I'm not listening. I'm not listening to my body. So it's been a fascinating week of, hi Vicky, welcome. It's just been a fascinating week of noticing, noticing what Michelle needs, and I honestly, I really, I know a big part of my journey is being real, and sometimes I even question that. But I think to myself, well, if I can be real in these gatherings and share something, my hope is that it might resonate with somebody else, or it might somebody else might go, oh, I'm not alone, because there were definitely those moments. 2 days ago, I was sitting and meditating, but the tears were just rolling down my face, and I was like, oh my gosh, that little girl inside of me felt so alone. And it's not true, because I know I'm supported by spirit. I know that. I know I'm supported by so many beautiful people, where then I'll come out of my meditation and receive a message of hope, or a message of, listen, I'm just thinking of you. But you see how easy those thoughts can trip me up, and I have to keep connecting with that little person inside. Having said that, for those of you who don't know a bit of my journey, I'm still in massive grieving of my mom. And I never, ever, ever thought, being the medium that I am, or connecting to spirit the way that I do, that the grieving of my mom would affect me the way that it has. It doesn't mean that it happens every day, because I see her every day. She shows up like literally a butterfly will when I'm walking, and literally a butterfly will come straight here, kind of like dive bombing me. I'm like, yep, thanks, Mom. I know you're here. So I know she's around, but the 49 years of being her daughter is what I'm working with. And my husband reflected that to me. So that's been quite an interesting process too. So, in the realness of who we are, it's okay. Like, that's what I'm learning to just say to myself. It's okay. It's okay. You're here right now. And when I grieve, I don't grieve for hours and hours. I just allow it and I let it go. And then I'm like, oh, and it could be 2 minutes or it could be 15 minutes. Like, that's when I cry, and I cry deeply. And I let that little girl, and I just hold her, and I hold her, and I hold her, and I hold her. And then I come out of it, and I kind of feel like, oh, wow, I feel lighter. Oh, this is what I do, for others. Okay, this is okay. I can do it for myself now. So it's been just an interesting time, an interesting journey. I also feel like, and I don't know if any of you have felt this too, but the collective wave, like we've just, in this last week, the mandates have been dropped in New Zealand. So we don't have to wear masks anymore. So yay to that. And even the healthcare system, they're taking back the nurses who haven't been vaccinated. Like, the mandates overall have been dropped. But now a lot of us who are sort of consciously aware are feeling the ripple effect of what happened in the last 2.5 years. And I don't know if those of you who are in the States have felt the same, or, Nina, I know you're in China, but it's kind of like we feel that whatever we've been holding on is being released in different ways. So that's part of the collective. So yeah, it's just been an interesting time. And for those of you at any time watch something, or we put something out there, or just know that I'm so grateful, because that's support, that's love, that's coming together. And if we think of one another, it could just be a thought of love and support. That's coming together at the same time too. Our thoughts are powerful in these moments. So
Have you noticed what's going on in Iran?
I have
The
no
women
idea.
are taking off their hijabs.
No ways. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Oh, I just
Oh
got
yeah.
goosebumps.
Yes.
Wow.
They're starting to revolt finally.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
huge.
That's huge, man. Phew, I get teary even hearing that. Wow. Shit.
You're muted. Oh.
If ever we were here for these times, as up and down as what they are, man, it's massive. I mean, my husband and I have been talking about how we are collectively, my husband and I, letting go of massive amounts of lineage stuff, massive amounts, of past lives, stuff that he's holding on to, stuff that I'm holding on to. And it kind of gets not pretty at times, but it's like, wow, just okay. So that's amazing. Thanks for sharing that, Scott.
check in with Jill's Facebook page. She posted a video on her page. It's really cool to see.
Awesome. Awesome. I'll do that. Awesome. Okay, so for those of you, we're going to start our heart meditation, and then I may just go directly into channeling the Council of Eight. For those of you who are new to the Council of Eight, they are angelic beings of light. They are ascended masters who've once walked this earth or these earth planes. They're from the 15th dimension. They are very connected to the Galactic Federation of Light. They're just, for me, amazing, and I feel incredibly blessed that I am one of their channels to have the messages come through me. I never know what's going to come through, so I close my eyes, and I may just go, after our heart meditation, I may just go directly into the channeling, and then if time permits, I will probably open my eyes just to see, or maybe because there might one or two of you might have questions, and they're here to answer questions. It might be a personal question, or it might be something that is part of the collective. Please, for you that are here, just know that I am recording this and I will put this onto my YouTube. So if it's a personal question, you don't mind it being out there. If you do mind, let me know and I can just edit it off, okay? So, but then I'll open my eyes and just reconnect, just to see who wants to ask the question, okay? So if you don't mind muting yourselves, all of you, please, because I have no idea how to do that on my Zoom. Mute yourself and close our eyes. And if you want, you can put your hands on your heart. You can just relax your bodies, connecting into your heart space. And just make sure you're all muted. Oops. And just taking a few big breaths. Just noticing your breath. Noticing our thoughts as they come through. Noticing how you're feeling in this moment. Just do what makes you feel comfortable. If you want to keep your eyes open, this is about yourselves individually. And again, just notice your breath. Bringing all your senses in. Notice, besides my voice, what you can hear around you. Notice if you are smelling anything in front of you. Notice if you can taste anything in your mouth. And again, just notice your breath and how you are feeling in this moment. And then if there's any thoughts about what I've just spoken about, just let them pass through. Bring yourself back into your presence. And as you're taking big breaths, just filling yourself up with space. Connecting into Mother Earth, deep into the center of her grid. To the beautiful internal space where she holds us. She holds every single one of us that are in this world. And connecting to all our guides, our guardian angels, our ancestors, our spirit teams. Just connecting. You may feel your body warm. You may feel some cold shivers. You may just feel your heart beating right now. Just keep connecting to yourself, to your soul, to your blueprint, to your knowing. And as we're connecting to nature, we are nature. We are God. We are Source. We are all-knowing. We are the divine. We are one. And again, just notice your breath expanding, bringing deep relaxation into your body and your mind. And aligning with yourself, aligning with your enlightened beings of light, with your star lineage, as we are all star seeds, being here for this very purpose, for this very moment. And as we are connecting to everyone within this group right now, start to connect into your family and your family's family and your family's family's family. And just extend this beautiful space of heart coherence, of connectedness, of community. And if you have a thought about somebody, send them love. Let's send Iran love for this momentous occasion in history. All the women, all the men. Let's send Taiwan love. And any other country that comes to mind to you all individually right now. As we are breaking free from years and years and years and years and years of devastation and punishment and suppression. And just notice, as I say the words, if you have any feelings, any contractions in your bodies, any triggers, just breathe it out. We're wanting to expand our hearts and our love. And again, just notice your thoughts. And if you're having any passing thoughts of negativity, just let them pass through. Acknowledge them and let them go. And then perhaps think of being held by Mother Earth. We're all navigating our own journeys, and they're pretty incredible. Now, right now in this moment, acknowledge yourselves for being here, for showing up. Acknowledge your breath. Acknowledge your heart beating to every single cell, to every single organ, to every single muscle, to every single bone. Everything is listening inside of us. And may this be a reminder of our navigational times, how we are listening to ourselves and ourselves. And in this moment of stillness, I'm going to ask you to ask your hearts in this moment. If you have a question within your mind, ask yourself the question and ask your heart to give you the answer. And I will go quiet for a few seconds or minutes, because there may be another question. Your heart has all the answers. Our hearts has the knowing more than anybody else's. We all have our own individual blueprint. So ask yourself the question and listen to what your heart says. So these are moments of silence, moments of togetherness, moments of coming together as the community that we are. We're all amazing individuals, and we're all here to hold one another and to show up for one another and to be there for one another and to support one another and to love one another no matter what. Take one last big breath in, just thanking your heart for giving you the answers. And slowly wriggle your toes and your fingers. Slowly just coming back into the present moment. Okay. Beautiful. Hopefully some of you got some answers, and if you're all relaxed, I'm just going to connect to the Council of Eight. Just stay in the position you're in, and this is your space. We are ready. We thank you for this moment within a moment of time. We are the Council of Eight. We are angelic beings of light. We are the consciousness, and we are the collective. We are the all. We are the one. And as we are saying these words, we are letting you know that you are two. Not the number two. You are two. We are all connected. Spirit meets earth, earth meets spirit. We are here today in this gathering, and we acknowledge you all. Yes, we are funny. This is the way we acknowledge, with our clicking. And what we want you all to know, that we are different beings of light. We know that in this group of beings that are here right now, there are, and what we say to you all individually, even though Michelle's eyes are closed and we are coming directly through Michelle, that we want you all to know that not one human is more powerful than another human. Each individual that is here right now, each individual that is walking the earth planes, all have their inner empowerment. So many have forgotten how to turn on this light. So many have forgotten how to ignite their brightness, their joy. Many are forgetting what is a joyful experience. Many are forgetting what it means to have fun in these times that are being navigated. It is almost as if we are showing Michelle the picture right now, that there is a compass. Each of you all individually have a compass, and the compass is navigating which direction to go in. And as you are all finding your new inner way of being, and your new inner way of sensing, and your new inner way of acknowledging the power that you all hold within, the way that a compass navigates is directly towards your North Star. So what we say to you, and what we mean by this, is that when you collectively all look up, it is as simple as looking up towards a star and connecting to a star in the bright sky at night. You have all seen that there are millions and millions of stars. To the naked eye, some of you may not see this at night, based on where you stay, based on the amount of smog or fog or earth smoke that has been created. Yet what we say to you is that even if you see one star, or you go and connect onto your computer and you connect to a picture of the Milky Way or a galaxy, or if you are on your phones with these different ways of connecting, when you are placing your head down and noticing what is on your phone, what we would say to you is that if there is something on the, what you guys call the internet, interconnectedness, the internet is bringing you together. Yet we know that there are many dysfunctions within the wires of what the internet has created. It has actually created a disconnect between all of you. Yet what we say to you is, for those of you that are on the internet, on these different platforms, find something that fills you up. Find something and watch something that brings you joy, that creates a thought, a spark, a noticing, as a star is vibrating, as a star does. Each star vibrates, does it not? Otherwise you would not see its light. So what we say to you is that as you are watching things and noticing things and re-watching things, watch things that bring you empowerment. Watch things that unlock you. Watch things that bring you a noticing of joy, a vibrational upliftment. There could be one person, there could be two persons, there could be 5 persons. Yet when you are watching 15,000 persons, and 15,000 persons as you are scrolling are not bringing the upliftment, they are not perhaps being funny in that moment. And we're not saying everyone is funny. What we are saying, and we hope that you are all interpreting this in the way that we are wanting it to be felt and heard, is that notice who plants a seed when you are watching something. And we are not talking about movies, as you all have your movies playing out. As Michelle was describing and discussing her week prior to this download and this connection, is that there were many different movies that she was playing in her forehead. Many different felt senses, many different emotions that were moving through her vibrational body. So this is what we are saying to you, is that notice what is helping to move things through your body. Things can be objects. Things can be feelings. Things can be thoughts. Matter. What matters to all of you? As this is matter, is it not? So again, notice, what is your star lineage, your star seed? What is your star saying to you? What information are you receiving? What seeds are you planting for yourself? Which direction of the compass are you listening to? What are you noticing within? So we kept saying to Michelle, it is time to silence yourself. And she listened. And what we say to you with a big smile on her face is that she takes time to listen to herself. She listens to thousands of others. And now it is time to listen. And it can be as subtle when one listens. It can be as subtle as this. Not many of you are hearing this, are you? Yet that is the subtle of the vibration of listening to oneself. If you were to take a match and light it, you would hear the sound. Yet when one is truly tuned in to oneself, one's listening, one's noticing, one's holding, one's love, it is as subtle as taking your fingers and rubbing it across your hand. It is so gentle. And this is our message to all of you today, is that when last have any of you been gentle to yourselves? How often are you being gentle within? How many of you are noticing that internal thought process? And please notice how we show you through Michelle's fingers how this is where the ups and downs come. And the ups and downs come. And it becomes a wave. And it can either be a wave of destruction and a wave of such highs and lows, or it can be a gentle wave. How often do any of you notice that the sea has its own wave? Many, many millions of waves, yet it has its own rhythm. Sometimes the waves can break harshly due to the weather and the wind that is on the outside. Yet what is happening on the outside is also happening deep within the ocean. So again, with these waves, with these subtle noticings, with these amazing, wonderful wavelengths and frequencies of thoughts, what we say to you is that the shift, 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 the shift is exactly what happens in the moment. So do you see how we started by Michelle's forehead and head, and then we went on the outside? Everything is vibration. Many humans are only learning this right now in this present moment. And that is okay. Not one is wrong, not one is right. Everyone is coming together as a collective within this higher vibrational, different frequency, different alignment within oneself. And silence is an incredible, powerful place to be. When one is still and one is within, one is still, one is noticing. And when one is still and noticing, it is as simple as the connection to your heart space, where your heart has all the answers. It is a knowing. It is a learning. Some of you may feel that you are relearning in this lifetime. Everything is vibration. There is a portal of light that is opening up right now as we're showing Michelle through her third eye. And we ask you all to please breathe in deeply into your heart center as we are sharing this frequency of light. And you may see different colors. You may not see anything. That is all okay. That is all knowing. Please take a big breath in. We are upgrading you all. We are uplifting you all. Please take another big breath in. Some of you may feel tingling in your hands. Some of you may feel tingling in your crowns. That is connection. You are all vibrationally connected. Not one is worse than the other. This is a human thought experience that you have all created. Touch for humans is not rare, it is very necessary. Touch and connection bring community. So one can be displaced at times about what am I doing? Where am I going? What is my purpose? That takes you out of alignment. That displaces you vibrationally in your own frequency. And then when you bring yourself back to your heart space, to your knowing, to your guidance, to your connection, one brings you back into your own internal compass, your own alignment, your own all-knowing. So we would ask you, as Michelle's eyes are closed, if you feel you have a question, please ask it now.
Okay, I have a question. In regards to all the information we're receiving through a lot of channels right now, it feels like more and more people are channeling. And there is information that is just so contradictory, which means that one channel says this and the other says almost exactly the opposite. And I know we're all here to learn to find our own truth, but if it's so contradictory, what is the lesson in this? Why are there so many people channeling just such diverse knowledge? Is it coming from such different sources, or is that their interpretation? Where is the truth?
This is a great question, and we thank you for this question. What we say to you is that you live in a world of diversity, do you not? You live in a world of the pendulum that swings between the light and the dark. You live in a world of what many humans would state is chaotic. You live in a world where there are many fluctuations within the emotional, vibrational frequency of who and whom you are. So many more are channeling, as many more are feeling as if they are connected to more source and to more beings of light out there. Yet what many are not noticing or knowing within themselves as yet is that some of those beings that they are channeling are not directly from the light. So what we would say to you and impart with you is that where are you feeling imbalanced? Where are you feeling contradicted or how do we say this? Within, there is a contradiction that is happening within you. And what is happening is there is a noticing of, and may we speak openly and freely to yourself directly.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
What we say to you is that there is a noticing at times that your elevation, your vibrational frequency is incredibly high. And when you are in those high spaces, you will listen to something within your vibrational magnetic field that will feel uplifting as you are feeling in that same vibration. Then there are other times where you may wake up and there is an unconscious unknowing of a presence of not being worthy of your own empowerment. And then you have put that vibration out there, so you will pull something into your space where it may not be the vibration that you are wanting to listen to, the channel that you are wanting to listen to, and yet you receive the information. So this will lower your frequency. We hope this makes sense.
Yes. So what I thought of it was where to find my own truth. If it doesn't resonate, at least I know now which channels I totally don't agree with. So I learned that then is not my resonance, and to go into the higher vibration again, because I can tell when it feels right.
Correct.
So is that the lesson, to just trust your instinct of where you are in that frequency?
Yes, it is. And what we say to you is, what does an instinctive thought feel like? Do you hear how we said that?
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah,
does
it's trusting my instinct for sure.
an
Yes.
instinctive thought feel like?
Yeah, it's in the heart. Be in the
Connection.
heart. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when one is feeling connected to oneself and one's knowing and one's heart space and one's soul resonance, one's true soul resonance, it doesn't matter what anybody else is saying out there. What matters is you know your truth.
Yes.
Yet everything is a magnet, as Michelle was explaining. Sometimes the magnet will be a small mirror, other times it will be a large mirror. It does not matter whether it is a small mirror or a large mirror, there is a reflection that is happening. So in the moment of bringing in what does not resonate and what does not vibrate according to your frequency, we would ask you to go within and ask yourself, where am I not frequenting my heart space? What am I choosing to believe? Because when one is choosing to believe, and a very real experience in the moment is when the gentleman earlier on spoke about Iran. It was a simple moment of a wondering with Michelle, like, oh, as there's only been a dictatorship and a negative connotation and negative field of vibration that has happened in that country for centuries, has it not? Yet as soon as she heard the upliftment of what is happening, the veils are coming off many, many, many different humans and many different countries. So what we say to you is that, yes, the instinctiveness your natural instinct at times can be to go on the outside. And what you are learning as humans are all within their own learning spaces. The instinct is to go within. That is what we would impart as a message today for all of you here. Go within. You are all learning to go within. As when one is going without, listen to the breakup of the word without. So if we were to take off Michelle's jewelry, she is going without jewelry, is she not? She does not have jewelry on. We can take off, and she can take off everything that we are asking her to take off. But she may say, this is special, please. She may say her wedding ring is special, please. She may say she feels bare without her jewelry. Do you see how it is a learning? Yet one becomes peaceful in the without, as one is going within. Yet do you see how the belief system or systems have been so deeply ingrained? I feel bare when I have nothing on. And yet it's a very natural existence that you come into this world. You all come into this world bare, do you not? You come in naked, do you not? And then you are learned and taught 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 to put on. And as you are learning to take off, 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 you take off. We love it when we are able to smile through Michelle, and you all smile too. We hope this makes sense and answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
We thank you. Is there another question for us?
I would like to ask something.
Please do.
From all kinds of sources, we do hear that, for example, a lot of the advanced technology, the latest technology, that it's not good for us, that even watching television, like kind of hypnotizes us. We should not watch the news. VR glasses would interfere with the pineal glands, stuff like this. And they say we should spend more time in nature, eat living food, stay silent. And in some ways I agree with this, but I don't like the feeling of feeling guilty, because in this, we need to be able to survive in this modern world and also raise our children. And it's almost impossible to stay away from technology. And I feel also we benefit from it, because like YouTube, I got to know Michelle via YouTube. So if it wasn't for YouTube, how would I run into her? So this is something I don't like, feeling guilty of using too much of this technology. And I also don't understand it, because we have some mutual friends, and it is said about those friends that they also live as ETs. Some of you might know whom I'm talking about. One of them is a captain on a huge mothership, and some of her peers here on Earth are in her team on this ET mothership. And they seem to be and they live as avatars here on Earth as well. And their ET, their extraterrestrial versions, they seem to be so advanced and so much wiser as we are here. But they're using technology all the time, very advanced technology. They live on those ships without being surrounded by nature. So they live a life which is very different from the life that everybody recommends we have to stick to. So it doesn't make sense to me why for them it's okay and why they are so elevated and wise and still connected to source as we are not able to hear. So maybe you can give me some insight in that, please.
So we thank you for everything that you have given to us and to the group today. And what we would like you to know and what we would like to ask you is, what would your one question be in all of that you have shared? Is it about technology that you do not like?
Well, is it really
energy?
No, my main question is, and I guess it concerns all of us, is it really so harmful for us to use that modern technology? Because I'm fascinated by technology and like to dig deeper into it. I would like to know what's going on in the world, even if the message is biased, if media don't tell the truth, but some of it might be true. So, and should I really try, to really avoid most of the contact of technology and television, and also my kids, to that they don't play computer games and stuff like this? Is it really that harmful, or are we guided anyways, in the right direction, and will live our soul plan?
So what we say to you is that coming to Earth, it is about finding balance. There are upgrades happening all the time. It would be crazy for us to even make a suggestion of, no, this is incorrect, when we would be contradicting ourselves as we are sitting talking through Michelle on a computer to all of you across the world. So upgrades are happening. Humans have wanted the upgrades. It is as simple as, and we will be okay with sharing the story of Michelle when she was not connecting to us in the full sense of the word connection. When she lived in South Africa, we were talking to her, yet she did not know that there was more. There was a fear, and the fear kept her within a bubble. And as she immigrated and came to New Zealand, the fear and the bubble started to open up. And this is what is happening on the earthly plane. Humans are incredibly intelligent, are they not? Tesla, his inventions have been spoken of many times. His numbers, his ingenuity, his own companion, Albert Einstein, was a genius on many different levels, but so misunderstood on so much more. Yet what we say to you is, this is the imbalance of frequencies that can happen for all of you. And what we say to you is that what many humans have forgotten, with so much information that has been thrown at them, is that you all have choice. Hence, this is the empowered place that we are reminding you of. You all have choice. It is as simple as looking at Michelle's t-shirt, and do you see how there are many different directions within this heart on her t-shirt? Some of you may start at the top and try go to the bottom. Some of you might start at the bottom and come to the top. Some of you might start on the left-hand side. Some of you might start on the right-hand side. So yes, the upgrades are happening, yet what we say to you is that you are all energy, all of you. And you have a choice to take in what resonates with you. You have a choice to decide, am I going to feed into that direction? Am I going to feed into that direction? Am I going to feed? Because you are literally feeding the vibration. It is as simple as the Queen Mother who has passed over, and the reptilian that was attached to her and working through her for lifetimes, many, many different lifetimes. And it is now coming into the light, literally and figuratively and spiritually. She is coming back to the light. Yet, yes, there are many ETs that have been using earthlings as they are playing a game with them. And if you can think of being on earth as a game, and you are all playing your part, not becoming puppets within the game, yet many of you can be when you lose your way, when you lose your own space in time of your own knowing. Yet we are showing Michelle a chessboard. Where would you like to be? Where do you see yourself being on the chessboard? Guilt is a wasted emotion, we say to you, yet it is a very real emotion for all of you, including Michelle. So what we say to you is, where on the chessboard, as we are giving you the black and white, 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 do you move forward? Do you move to the sides? Are you going to start at the top of the heart? Are you going to be in the middle of the heart? Where do you see yourself? Are you a pawn? Are you a king? Are you a queen? Where do you see yourself on the board within the game? It is as simple as, and we say it is simple. When Michelle started her healing work 3, 4, 5 years ago within this new country, within this new vibration, within her new state of being and coming out of her bubble, her hands were moving in a different direction when she was doing one-on-one healings with her clients. And as her hands were moving, she started to sing a different note coming out of her voice box. She did not know that she had a freeloader, an entity, what would be called a negative entity. She was waking up tired, she was tired. Yet that was the imbalance that she was feeling as she was also going through a ripple effect of noticing the change of being within the vibrational high space of high mountains around her. So she felt entrapped. Yet in these spaces of doing the healings, and until she was under deep hypnosis, did she realize that she had another being that was helping her, and it wanted to help. There are many ET beings out there that are helping humanity in not the best way, in not a good way. Yet no one can control that. Even the Galactic Federation of Light, they notice what is going on. Yet the humans, and this is what we are sharing again, humans are feeling at times disempowered. And when they are disempowered, they are being suppressed, are they not? When they are, and when you all are empowered, you are feeling upbeat, are you not? So what we say to you, and thank you for that wonderful question, or many questions within that one space in time, is that notice again what brings you fulfillment. Notice about the balance, as it is very easy, and we say this too. Many humans live within nature. We are, you are all nature. Nurture. Nature brings nurturing, does it not? Yet there are many humans who do not live close to nature. So how are they nurturing themselves? How are they feeding themselves? How are they bringing joy into their space? How are they bringing fun into their space? So if you feel that there has been too much intenseness of looking down, too much intenseness of what you are being fed, what we would say to you is, how are you bringing the balance of nurturing into your space, into your environment? Is it perhaps playing a song that brings upliftment, where you see your children and yourself and your husband singing? Or is it looking at a bonsai plant and noticing how it is growing, how it is sprouting, how you need to nurture it? Or is it looking at a set of crystals or a set of crystals? Or is it noticing how you are becoming wrinkled on your faces as you are all maturing? That is a deep, deep, wonderful sign of noticing that you are experiencing life on this earthly plane. And again, what is the vibration? What is the feeling? What is the feeling? Does it build you up or does it break you down? You all are able to flip the switch. Humans, ET, spirit are all playing their part in bringing together the shifts. And as the shifts and as the tectonic plates all over the world are realigning, the thoughts are heard, the feelings are heard. Mother Nature listens. As your body is listening to you, so is nature, so is Mother Nature, so are the worms, so are the whales. Everything is being listened to all the time. So what frequency do you want to be on? Do you want to listen outwardly? Do you want to listen to the news that may bring an inquisitiveness? Or do you want to listen to the news that may bring a soulfulness? And please listen to how we said those words, a soulfulness. The soul feels full at times, does it not? It might bring sorrow when you listen to the news, yet you are very much within a dimension where there is pain, suffering, intenseness, yet there is equally compassion, kindness, caring. Do you see how we use Michelle's hands? Could be the similar vibration, and it can be changed within the flick of a switch. What is the source feeling? What is the source feeling? We give you the example of an ant climbing up a tree. It will climb up, and it will climb up, and it will climb up, and it will climb up. But what goes up? It needs to come down. So then it will have to have a very long climb back down. It may not make it to the bottom. It may fall. So what we mean by this is what brings you up may bring you down. It really is simple from where we are at. Some are being guided in a way that is incredibly healing. Some are being guided in a way that is incredibly healing. Some are being guided, yet you all have your thought forms. You all have your belief systems. You all have your ways of being conditioned. How do you want to condition yourself? Do you condition your hair where it feels soft? How do you want to condition yourself? We are complete for today, and we thank you all for showing up. We thank you all for showing up for yourselves. And our hope is, and our noticing is, that you all may be feeling more vibrationally high. That is when you know something resonates. That is when you know something permeates. That is when you know that you're in your highest state of vibration. It is that simple. Humans like to make it complicated. Buy into or don't buy into. Are you going to purchase something on your cards, or are you not going to purchase something on your cards? Humans have created what is coming. And it is the uncreation of everything that has been created, and it is about the togetherness, the kindness, the compassion. Yet you are equally allowed to feel the intenseness as this one has felt it last week. The body takes time to moderate. The body takes time in the downtime. In the downtime, how are you all giving yourselves the downtime? We thank you, one. We thank you all. Please may we do a blessing of light on all of you. Please take a big breath in. Namaste.
Thank you, Michelle.
My pleasure. I'm so glad they didn't undress me. That would have been fun.
I guess that would have been edited out, huh?
Well, who knows, eh? Maybe it's just what we need to see on the internet, eh? It's like a 50-year-old with droopy boobs. Sorry.
YouTube might have had an issue with it.
There were some great questions. Thank you for who asked. And gosh, you know, it's just we're all navigating ourselves. We're all navigating what's meant to be, how we want to show up. And, you know, it's something that I think when I worked for hospice as a part-time caregiver in South Africa, I noticed that when somebody was on their deathbed, it obviously brings up huge loss, you know, for the family collectively. And a lot of negotiation happens, a lot of bargaining happens, and a lot of promises happen, you know, and we're all going to share things as families. Well, as soon as the body has died and the soul's left, let me tell you, people go back to their human ways. There was, you know, fighting that would happen in the closest of closest families. It used to blow my mind. But for me, what I learned from it is, how can you show up for somebody if you're on your deathbed? Sorry, this is where I'm going. If you're on your deathbed, what is it that you would really want? Are you going to remember about all the negativity, or you're only just going to want your family and your closest friends around you? Like, what is it you want? What do you choose to follow? We forget that. You know, I think I get questions like, Michelle, you know, you eat meat. Like, shit, do you know that that's wrong? And I'm like, well, maybe for you, but not for me. I still have choice. I know what my body likes. Who are you to get to say what I'm allowed to eat based on your beliefs, based on your principles in this, or your values in this life? And that's what we're all forgetting. There is a shitload of information out there, without a doubt. But take on what resonates. You know, I really want to lift myself. And it's not to say when I had a week last week, like something that came to mind earlier on, and I'm changing my tune here. But when I first came to this country, I come from a violent country. Okay, South Africa has a lot of violence. So on a subconscious level, guess what I was watching? Violent programs. I used to watch Chicago PD, and I loved it because the police made me feel safe. You know, like I would watch a program that made me feel safe. And then I got to, like, after 2 months, I was like, no, man, I got to watch something that makes me feel safe in a different way. Because remember, the way we internalize things through our limbic brain, our brain's 200 million years old. How long haven't we felt safe in this world for? What makes you feel safe? Sometimes I watch stuff where I'm like, yes, man, hospital programs. I'm like, oh my God, look at these amazing people. But then there's other times that I just can't because it's just too much for me. And then I have to say, that's okay. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just okay. You're not resonating with, like, there's that Dharma program on right now. I know what he was about. I read about Dharma, and I just can't bring myself right now to watch it on Netflix. But maybe when I'm not so tender and I'm feeling different in my body, Who knows? Maybe my husband might say, come, let's watch it together. I don't know. I'm here right now. We all have choice. And that's where we forget how powerful we are. As a baby, not powerful, guys? When we came into this world and we cried the loudest, we either got fed or we had a poo nappy or a wet nappy we cried. And that's what we all forget is that, but we got somebody, if we were lucky enough to nurture us. Some people weren't that lucky, obviously, okay? But a baby, look at a baby's laughter. I love watching stuff on Instagram where you watch babies laugh. You can't but help not laugh with them at the stupidest things. So that's just me. That's just my perception in life. What brings you joy? And I don't always feel the joy. I don't always get the joy. I'm not always in my joy. But what brings you joy equally? I think that's, what we've all got to find in these times, if anything. I most certainly have had a lot of shit in this lifetime, and I'm like, I still joke. I'm Tom Cruise, and I come down on that freaking umbilical cord or whatever they're going to send me one day, and I'm like, let me just check this out. No, guys, I've done this exercise. I've done humanity. And then I have a sense they're going to cut my cord. And I'm going to be like, damn it, you guys fooled me again, I don't know. We've got to find the fun. We've got to find the fun factor, don't we?
Yes.
As best as we can. So from my heart to yours, I love you all. Thank you for showing up. Happy, happy, happy birthday.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
And and I look forward to seeing you next month again. And for those of you who want to sign up on the event, go onto my website. For those of you who want one-on-ones with the Council of Eight, I can't, this is just me because obviously I'm the channel for them, but I love how they put things. I could never in my wildest dreams, when they come through and they share things, I'm like, how did you know that? Like, I feel like saying that to them. How did you know that? And, and I'm just like, they clearly know. And I love how they share things, because I just, in my perception of life, can't share things the way that they do. So, but that's just my take on it, So if you want to book a one-on-one, please, if you've got any questions, they most certainly, and I love that they keep it light, and it's got to be fun, man, because there is some heavy stuff out there, and I'm just like, because remember, we all have our own way of looking at things. And our belief systems, I'm challenging a lot of my belief systems at the moment. What's mine? What was my mother's? What was my father's? What was my brother's? What was my teacher's? What are my teachers in this lifetime? And guess what? It's all about forgiveness for me, compassion, kindness, and it's on a freaking shit deep level, people, I tell you. I'm like, if I thought I got forgiveness yesterday, I get another load of freaking forgiveness again today. And
Don't forget balance.
Commercials, and there's more.
Don't forget balance.
Don't forget, there we go, and balance. Absolutely. Yeah. So from my heart to yours, I always feel so privileged, to just see all of you here, to share this with you, to share the knowledge, to share the heart space, and to share the laughter and kindness. I really do. I know a lot of you here, and I'm just so grateful. Really, I love you all so very, very much.
Thank you,
We
Michelle.
love you too.
Thank
Yes.
you. Love you.
Love you.
Thank
Have an
you.
amazing, amazing day. Okay.
Nice to see you
Yes.
all.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah,
Take
happy
care.
birthday.
Mm.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Love to you all.